there, everyone. How you doing? I'm Lady Calamere, and I'm doing my 264th video. And today's presentation will be on Aries. And actually, in Greece, his name is actually pronounced Ares, A-R-E-S. Now, the astrological sign is, of course, Aries, A-R-I-E-S. So, why am I bringing up that astrological sign? So, Aries planetary power is Mars. His astrological sign would correspond to Aries. So if you're Aries out there, his color is red. His element is fire. And his metal is iron. On the tree of life, the Kabbalah, he would be put on the sphere Geburah. Ares is a god of war, the son of Zeus and Hera, Zeus and Hera. And we got a guest. Nope, no, we don't got a guest. Miss Kitty was about to step onto the altar. So, he is the god born of Hera and father Zeus. But in the Orphic hymn and a later hymn, it was said that Hera was angry about Zeus able to procreate without her. So another goddess told her to go out into a field and find a flower. You'll know this flower by its way it looks different. Well, she held the flower up to her, and actually it was all a setup because the flower was Zeus, her husband. So anyway, what are you doing? Why are you chewing things up? Already it's starting. And if you're new to the channel, please understand that I got 6 cats. I got 7 cats, and they all go crazy here. Can you stop? They're trying to throw me off, but I won't let them. I won't let them. So did you know that his origin was actually Thraci? And that he was also called the Lord of the Dance. That Ares was raised by Priapus. He wasn't raised by his mother and father. And that Priapus taught him the art of dancing. Then the art of war. So he excels at dancing. Well, what type of dance can we talk about? War dance. That's what he does. I had to throw that in. Why not? So he is a god of war. And a lot of the Greek gods deal with warcraft. But when you think of the god of war, you think of this guy. He has many different epithets. In Homeric hymn, he is called the savior of cities. Believe it or not. In the Homeric hymn, he is called the savior of cities. So that, hold on to that, because that's one of his titles. He is the god of war. He is called the mighty one, the consuming flame, father of victory, the furious one, voice, he whose voice is of power, or the voice of power, the strong one, giver of courage. He is called the upholder of law. Yeah. The preserver of what is right. The leveler. Father of harmony. Because his daughter was with Aphrodite was Harmony. Harmea, one of his many children. Lord of the chariots. Or just Lord of the chariots. Inspirer of brave deeds. Lord of the fiery fields. So his attributes is the helmet, the iron sword, the shield, armor, burning torch. And that burning torch was used for catharsis and conflagrations. He is his animals. Okay, so his animals are venomous serpents, a vulture, as well as a dog. And one of the stories where also some owls, some species of owls. So not all owls, but some species of owls. And in one of the stories where he gets angry at Adonis, he turns himself into a bear and basically disembowels him and kills him. It is said when the gods fled to Egypt, he changed himself into a fish. So excuse me, I'm like trying to play with my cats. His sworn enemy, and do not put them together, is Athena. Athena and Ares do not like each other. His love of his life, and that you can put him next to, is Aphrodite. Love and war. You ever hear the statement, all's fair in love and war? Well, Ares is war and Aphrodite is love, and those two love each other. You can't say anything bad about Ares to Aphrodite, and you can't say anything bad to Ares about Aphrodite, so don't even try. Other names. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of the other name. Oh, it passed me. Hephaestus doesn't really care much for Ares at all. Not at all. In the Iliad, Zeus, who's the king of the gods, told his son, "You are my least favorite son. I would have kicked you out of Olympus if it was not for your mother Hera. She's pronounced Hera." So that's in the Iliad, where he is the least favorite. In fact, the gods and goddesses are aghast by his behavior when he gets into the battle fury, for he loves the battle, he enjoys the fighting, and he will switch sides. Like, he can switch sides for his own amusement, his own pleasure, and his own reasons. So he could double cross, and sometimes in more. So he loves battle, war, fights. He's into all that. He passionately loves war. He loves weapons. In Rome, they called him Mars. Now, Mars is a bit different. Is more refined. But think of this. He's a god of fighting styles. Where do you think we get the word martial arts from? Mars is more disciplined, where Ares is more of a berserker. He's not as strategic as Athena. Athena would be the war general. This guy would be the berserker. He would just go. He will go fist flying into a battle. He'll just do it, and he loves the battle. He loves the fight. He loves the fighting. He does it for fun. He does it for shits and giggles. Now, Ares is not okay, so he could be very cruel. I'm going to tell you that. But he was also, again, the savior of cities. And he is a god who exceeds in strength. He is, so if you are looking for physical strength, for stamina, so if you're a martial artist, maybe mixed martial arts, maybe you're a boxer, or you do real wrestling, you're a bodybuilder, you're an athlete, you can ask this god to help you build your body. He is also called, in the Homeric hymns, a defender of Olympus, or Olympos as they call it. He is also called, one of his names, Father of Victory, Nike, because his daughter, Nike. Father of war like Nike. He also, when I say he's a god of justice in the Homeric hymns, if you look at the Homeric hymn, he is the friend of Themis, who is a goddess of justice and law. So that's where you get those epithets from. So here we have two statues. And he's seen in two major ways. Here we have, this is from Greece. He is in full battle attire with a shield and helm, the helmet and the spear. And you see he has the boots and everything, and he's fully clothed. He looks like he's ready to kick ass. And there's his name. Can you see it? Not available while using. Why do I have ultra lens? Well, Ares. I must have bumped this. Let me see if I could. There we go. You see the name? Now, another way is where he has a beard here, by the way. He's more of a mature man. Probably in his 30s or 40s. Here we have him as a young man in his youth, where he's pretty much naked except for a leaf. He has he just has a shield, a helmet, a cape, and a spear. He's pretty much naked. That's another way he's envisioned. This is by Top Collection. And you see his shield. Can you see the detail? And then this shield is of course different. In the Orphic hymn, as for offerings of incense, offerings and incense. Well, incense. In the Orphic hymn, it says that to air is the fumigation of frankincense. So frankincense, dragon's blood, cinnamon, spicy cinnamon incense, something spicy, pepper. Be careful when burning pepper. Well, cinnamon is more to the sun, but if you look at cinnamon oil, it's very caustic. And it's spicy and fiery. Be careful with gunpowder, because gunpowder is also an offering to him. But burning things, definitely dragon's blood, frankincense, and pepper, or anything spicy. As for foods, think of spicy. He doesn't mind hot peppers, you know, so, and that's more of a new thing, but hot peppers, of course, well, I'm not going to say that, blood, because in the old days, and I'm not saying to do this, but in the old days, offerings to him involved horses, cattle, and even a sacrifice of human men. But again, that's illegal, and thank goodness that has been outlawed and done away with. If you give blood, be very careful. I know people who like to cut themselves. I would not tell you to do that. I would tell you to use a little pin or a little sticker or something that's used. What are they? A lancelet. That's what I'm looking for. A lancelet. So you can use that. You can offer him liquid dragon's blood. Yes, there is liquid. Dragon's blood oil, spicy oils. Give him some traditional Greek dishes. So people have given him stuffed grapes. You can give him feta cheese. Give him grapes. Give him tobacco. Well, that's also a Crowley thing. Aleister Crowley, where he associated Gawaran Mors with tobacco, because tobacco was something that the men smoked after hard days of work. They would have themselves a nice pipe or a cigar. So you could give him loose tobacco, you could give him a cigar or a cigarette. You can give him red wine, dry wine. You can give him sweet wine. You give him hard liquors, whiskey. Oh, here we go. Here it goes. No, I left this bottle there. My fault for leaving it on the cat tree. My dumbass self. And we got Joker here, so we need to turn off the flash. Hi, Joker. You gonna help me remember things? You can give him images of weapons of war, images of war. You know, pictures of World War I or World War II. Flame and fire. Pita bread. Because that's nice and Greek. That's nice. Three. Pita bread. You can. What was I was getting into the Scotch liquor, whiskey, the hard stuff. Moonshine. So those are some of the things that he would like. Why is this moving? Why is this acting up? Okay, so those are just some of the things that you can give Aries. So Ares was really revered in Sparta. In fact, they would have an image of him in chains. And that wasn't to chain him up or to bind him. That was to make sure he does not leave the city. And sometimes he was placed outside of cities to some people have said because they didn't want him in there. No, it was to protect the cities. Again, savior of cities. He is in the American called a chariot rider, and that he has a golden helmet. He is saying to be unwearying. He doesn't slow down. So it represents the bloodlust of humans. He could be seen as the worst of us sometimes. Battle lust. But also, again, courage and civil order. Now, another tribe that was associated with him, believe it or not, the Amazons. He loved the Amazonian woman. In fact, he was a father of some of the queens, or some of the Amazons. And it says that he actually helped create, or was, they were said in stories that they could trace their lineage to this god. Amazonian woman. So when we think of Amazons, we can think of this god. So he involved himself with one of the queens, Hippolyta. So another thing that Ares did, he arrested Sisyphus, a man who had dared to imprison and kidnap the Titan of death, Thanatos. So he was responsible for arresting him and stopping him. Come on, Joker. Why? He wants his toy. He wants his toy. No, you're turning on the TV again. Stop. Fucking remote. I don't even know what. I'm gonna keep it on my lap. So another thing is, one of the sons of Poseidonus, Poseidon, sexually assaulted his Ares's daughter, Alcippe. So he killed the son of Poseidonus. His name was Halorotheus. And Poseidonus was pissed. He was like, well, my son was just, did what he did, but he shouldn't have been killed. And, he didn't do anything different than what I've done, blah, 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 blah. So there was a whole tribunal against Ares. Whole Olympic court, in which he was acquitted of all charges. Wow, the first tribunal among the Olympians. So he is one of the 12 Olympians, by the way, before I forget. And just in case you didn't know, which a lot of people do, he's one of the 12 Olympians. He was the one to... basically, Aphrodite was in love with Hephaestus, but she had to marry Hephaestus. Hephaestus, I should say, Hephaestus. So she would have... oh, come on, Joker. You know how to get the spring. I can't get underneath this table. So they would have an affair, and in which they were caught. And Hephaestus, long story short, if you look at my presentation of Hephaestus and Aphrodite, I talk about it. He makes this, because he's a great craftsman, he makes this thin, pretty much invisible chain net that was unbreakable. And when he caught them, and he basically called upon all the gods where they were tied, they bound to each other in this net. And Ares didn't mind at all. He said he wouldn't mind spending eternity in Aphrodite's arms. But eventually he was pretty much convinced to let the two lovers go out of the chain, out of the net. But yeah, Hephaestus doesn't like Ares too much. Zeus doesn't think highly of him either. I'm sorry, I got my cats decided they want to play because I'm doing my presentation, so they all gotta play. Did you know Hippolyta, one of the Amazon queens, receives a war belt from him? So, and that was a symbol, her symbol, given to her by the god, that Hippolyta was the preeminence among them, and she was the possessor of the war belt of Ares. It was says that the Amazons were independent, strong, powerful, and ruthless in battle and fight. And Ares really adored them. He bestowed upon them the fighting spirit. He was said to lead them in war campaigns against the Lycians, against the Athenians, against the Phrygian. I should have wrote this. I should have wrote some things down, but you know me, I'm not going to have a script or a bunch of notes. And anyone else who dared to challenge their freedom, their ways, and their honor. So the Amazons are said to honor this god. So, and one of the queens was said to be the daughter of Ares. And just thought that I would bring that up. Heracles and Ares do not get along either. Diomedes, during the war between Greeks and the Trojans, wounded Ares with the help of Athena, in which, he got defeated and he went to Olympus, and Zeus had no pity on him. I just thought I would bring that up. So in case, he's also considered a father to people, to men. He had many children. And during many battles, it was says that, like, Eris, Eris, starts the war or the battle. Zeus directs it. And Ares, the god, thoroughly enjoys it. So during the Trojan War, Ares sides with, whoever he wanted to with, and then he decided he's going to side with the Trojans. And he was wounded by the Greek, like I said, the Greek hero Diomedes, who, with the help of Athena, drove a spear through him. So he has many children, like Harmony. He was said also, what's her name? Oh, yeah. Think. It's late here. Just give me a minute. And Deimos, panic. That's what I was thinking. Phobos, fear. I was trying to think of, I almost said phobia, but that's where we get the word phobia from Phobos, fear. And those are his attendants. And also Eris attends with him. So when there's a big battle, big war, you have Deimos, who brings panic and brings panic attack, and Phobos brings fear. And Enyo, the goddess of war, comes with him. Eris, the goddess of chaos and strife. She's also called Strife. Lethe also comes after the battle so that they would forget. She was forgetfulness, and to forget about the gods after all the carnage. Also the Keres, Keres, and they are the goddesses of death that attend him. So yeah, pretty nasty. So he does have children, by Aphrodite, and of course others. Eris is said to be very strong, gorgeous of body, handsome. He could be not elderly man, but a mature man or a young man. Very athletic, very muscular, very good to look at. Pretty much like Drop Dead Gorgeous or Hey There, Tall, Dark, and Handsome. So, yeah. Ares can be very prideful, very boastful, very in your face, very strong. Is he approachable? Not always, because he can go into a fury. He does have his victories, but he does have his defeats. He, against Athena and Ares, is like you don't want to call them together, because that's like, unless that's like standing in a pool with a lightning rod during a lightning storm. You just don't want to do that. That's like swimming with the sharks with chum all around you. You don't want to do that, because Ares can be very much a shark. He is very, he could be very protective. He could be, I've met him in meditations as calming. He was calm, and he put his hand on my shoulder. But understand that he can be a predator, a shark. So that's just something you need to know. So also another place where he was really, again, some places in Greece did not respect him. I'm going to tell you that. Did not like worship him as much as like Sparta and Thraki, as well as Scythia. And the country that is now Georgia, not the state of Georgia, but the country of Georgia. I can't remember the name. I think it was Colchis or Colchis or something like that. But it's now where modern Georgia is where he was really, and of course Sparta. The Spartans really respect him. Ares could be a dangerous deity. Yeah. Some people are like, oh, don't bring him in your home, but I've had him for years in my home, and now I got this second image because this got broke and I couldn't find the piece when I moved it, and I just thought it was over with until I found the piece. I bought this, then I finally found the piece, so now I have two pieces. So I have two statues of Ares. So now which is pretty cool, because I got a mature one and I got a young one, so that it all worked out, right? He was supposed to be a god of the first defense, the first line of defense when a city is being, or a state being, when a city or a place was being invaded. He's very virile, very sexual. He has a good sexual appetite. In Scythia, he's actually was worshipped in the form of an iron sword. So they would literally put an iron sword and worship it. He's quick to temper, and he can blow up real quick, like a volcano. He can get jealous of any man. Well, if they're trying to have sex with Aphrodite, he can be. So I know some people who have sex. Nah, I don't want to bring it up. But yeah, because he can get really explosive. So like let's talk about sex magic using Aphrodite. So the owl I was thinking about, especially the owl, is the eagle owl. And what's the other one? Barn owl. So the eagle owl, when I said, so go back, eagle owls and barn owls. His chariot is pulled by usually 4 fire-breathing stallions. So the fire-breathing stallions pull his chariot. So his favorite people that he really likes and that he's a patron of, is soldiers, warriors, martial people who do martial arts or teach martial arts, or those who go into the fighting ring, where it's martial arts rings, boxing. So any people who, whether it's street fighting, again, and unfortunately, all types of fighting, including gang warfare. Unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. You remember in the 80s about the mob, well, battle, the shootings and everything? Yep, pretty much. Civil unrest, civil war, revolutions, conflicts, actual war, World War One, World War Two, all in his jurisdiction. People who are born in the sign of Aries pretty much are his favorite people. What are you doing, Joker? What are you... I hear something going on and I don't like it. I'll be right back. What you doing, naughty boy? Where are you? What's going on? What you doing? What you got? What you got in your mouth? Okay, it's a toy? Okay. You have to be careful of kitties. So Aries can be used for magic defense and magic wars. So all that is under his jurisdiction of wars of the physical time, but also can be used for metaphysical wars and cursing and stuff. So, and to fight against curses. It was said that when the Alode giants, and then these were giants, and they went to fight against Olympus, Ares battled them, but he got defeated, and he was basically trapped inside a bronze jar for 13 months. He screamed, and the gods were like, whatever, just leave him there. It's so much more peaceful. But he was later rescued, as I think I described it, by the god Hermes, but pronounced Hermes in Greek. Stop it! So he was released after 13 months. So I'm just trying to think. There are so many different stories about, and he has many different stories to him, many different mythologies and stories. Come on, leave her alone. Joker. He had numerous offsprings that were mortal. Well, half divine, mortal offspring, as well as gods. And some of them actually inherited his temperament, which he has. He's a hot-headed. He has bad temper. He likes to break things. Sometimes he just likes to break things. He just likes to, I don't know, smash things. So he does have a violent temper. And some of his children were cast as villains. So some of his divine offsprings were Deimos, Eros, the god of love, Harmonia. So Eros, depending on... Okay, sometimes he's not always seen as the son of Eris. But I'm going to say this because we're talking about Eris, so in some of the stories, Eros is the son of Ares. Deimos, Harmonia, Nikki. Though some say that she is, as I discussed about Nikki, if you want to know more about Nike, which is pronounced Nikki, Nike, in Greek is Nikki, is the daughter of Pallas and Styx. But since we're talking about Eris, she is the daughter of Eris. Phobos and Teros, the mortal ones, or half gods. Alkippe, and she was a Athenian girl. She was a daughter of Ares and Agraulos, I believe her name was. And again, she was attacked, sexually assaulted by Helios, a son of Poseidonus, the Poseidon, the god of the seas and oceans. And of course, like I said, Ares said, "You touch my daughter like that? Watch me be a good daddy." And he basically beat the crap out of him and killed him. Good one, Ares. So proud of you. Hey, thumbs up for that. Some of the Amazons, Antiope, who was an Amazonian, some say princess, a queen, daughter of Otreri and Ares. Hippolyte. And interesting, Diomedes was a son of Ares. And that's interesting. Who was, by the way, eventually slaughtered by Heracles. And again, Ares and Hercules, but Heracles in Greek, they do not get along. Lycos. So he has a whole list of children. So as Mars, his sons were Remus and Romulus. you know, the ones who built Rome. So Remus was a king of Latium, as well as Romulus, a king of Latium, which was both, central Italy. So those two founded Rome. And then one brother kills the other. He also has offspring that's a monster. The Drakon is Menian. I'm trying to remember that. Sort of like a monster serpent dragon who guarded the Ismenian spring of Thebes. So that would be in central Greece. And that monster was slain by a hero called Cadmus. So those are just some of the interesting things about him. Wow, gosh, I thought I was only talking about 20 minutes and it's already 51 minutes. So what else can I do? I'm thinking let me go get my tablet. I'll be right back. Okay, and the reason why I want to get my tablet is because I want to read you something, which I don't usually do. Okay, the Orphic hymn to Ares, fumigation from frankincense, magnanimous, unconquered, boisterous Ares, in darts rejoicing and in bloody wars, fierce and untamed, whose mighty power can make the strongest walls from their foundations shake, mortal destroying king, defiled with gore, pleased with war's dreadful and tumultuous war, the human blood and swords and spears delight and dire ruin of mad savage fight. Stay furious contest and avenging strife, whose work with woe and bitter human life, to lovely Kypris, which is Aphrodite, and to Laius, Dionysus, yield for arms exchanged, the labors of the field, encourage peace to gentle works, inclined and give abundance with benignant mind. Okay, so let me put in Homeric hymn. Okay. Here we are. Eris, this is a Homeric hymn. Okay. Eris, exceeding in strength, chariot rider, golden helmed, doughty in heart, shield bearer, savior of cities, harnessed in bronze, strong of arm, unwearying, mighty with the spear, O defender of Olympus, father of warlike Nike, ally of Themis, stern governor of the rebellious, leader of the righteous men, sceptered king of Manilus, who whirl your fiery spear, in parentheses, the star of Mars, among the planets in their sevenfold courses, through the aether, wherein your blazing steeds ever bear you above the third firmament of heaven. Hear me, helper of men, giver of doubtless youth, shed down a kindly ray from above upon my life, and strength of war, that I may be able to drive away bitter cowardice from my head, and crush down the deceitful impulses of my soul. Restrain also the keen fury of my heart which provokes me to tread the ways of blood-curdling strife. Rather, O blessed one, give me your boldness to abide with the harmless laws of peace, avoiding strife and hatred and violent fiends of death. So you can learn some things about the hymns and about a god or goddess that you're looking up. So the sounds of gunfire, bombs, and clashing of swords, the sounds of armor and shields, and the swords striking the shields, are all like music to his ears. So the sounds of war drums, the pounding of drums, so some things that you can play to get his attention is the sound of many horses and chariots and the sounds of drums. And when you think about it, heavy metal, right? The boom, 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 boom. You know, the constant. And anything dealing with songs of war, like Slayer, War Ensemble, Ghost of War, Chemical Warfare. Those are the song War by Bathory, or Off to War by Behemoth. Those are just some of the songs that you can play for him to really get into it, to really get him there. The crackling of fire, the smell of smoke. Those are the things that you can attract his attention. The sounds, you can play the sounds of war or gunfire. So, and he feels good. I mean, you can get, like, when you talk about dirt for hoodoo and stuff, you can get dirt from a gun range, dirt around martial arts or anything, and use that in your magic. Or you can get dirt from where major battles and wars took place, and think of Gettysburg. You can get some dirt from the battles there. Or if you find some like old bullets or anything from like the old muskets and stuff, and bullet casings that you find that was used in war, it's another thing that you can put on his altar. But you don't have to find them. You can have them. You can put bullets, gun magazines, stuff like that. And it could be just like a simple gun or an AK, AR-15, shotgun shells, old things, even muskets or bayonets. You can put little toy soldiers on his altar, or warriors. It could be Native American warriors. It could toy soldiers. So if you are in active battle or active combat, you're a veteran of foreign wars, or a veteran who have seen conflict and battles, you have a god that could be your patron. So anyways, I want to thank you. If you really like my content, please like and subscribe and share this video as payment to me. And no, I'm not asking you for money. Is to do spells for me for protection of my cats, and good luck spells and good mojo my way. Send that good luck to me for money, for happiness, and continued happiness and protection of me and my cats, and good healing for all my cats. And also donate to places that help people who are going through conflict right now, in battle, wars and stuff. You know, to help them with food, to help them with shelter. You can also donate blood to the Red Cross or something like that. Do it all as thanks for this video. So, a small price to pay. My videos are always free, and you don't have to do it, but just little suggestions. And also to help WISPA, WSPCA, and other agencies that are helping, you know, displaced dogs and cats and pets that are, you know, through terrible conflicts in the Middle East and this war in Ukraine with Russia. And so not only are people suffering, but pets are suffering too. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. You are so freaking awesome. And as always, blessed be.